What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. With this video, we are jumping into the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 4. If you have not been keeping up with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with Spider-Man. Now, so far through these 4 issues, we have seen Spider-Man jumped 6 months into the future. Something big has happened. Something that has caused a drift between his relationships, between his friendships, between everything in his life. Even to the point that his powers, they're not at 100%. But right now, that is the least of his concerns. With a gun pointed directly at his head, in shackles and chains, Tombstone is about to enact his final plan, a giant ploy to bring in the Avengers to take down the Rose and his crew. But Spider-Man is going to quickly learn that there is much more at play here. So be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so this picks us up with Mary Jane. We have seen that she is in a new relationship. She has children that call her mommy, I love you, all that good stuff. So by all appearances, this relationship has been going on for a little while now. We see her being visited by Black Cat, because Black Cat has not been in communication with Peter Parker for a while now, trying to figure out where Spider-Man might be. The truth is, Mary Jane doesn't talk to him. She doesn't answer the phone, none of it. So since they broke up, there has been no communication, so she has no way of being able to help out Black Cat. This is still an absolute mystery, everything going on with Mary Jane. They have yet to explain it to us, yet to explain anything that is happening. We don't know if Mary Jane is the stepmother, we don't know if time has changed, the timeline was messed with, and somehow Mary Jane is now with somebody else. There is just so many more questions than answers. But that's what takes us to Spider-Man, bleeding out all over the place, leaking from his face, unable to break these titanium chains. His spider strength, it just isn't doing the job. Thinking about how he might get out of this situation, thinking how he might be able to just dodge the bullet right before it hits. But his spider senses, they aren't working either, which means he's not going to be able to predict when this guy fires the bullets. Not as well as he could, which means there is a good possibility that Peter Parker dies right here. As the man is about to pull the trigger, this is where we see Kareem. Kareem is the man that Spider-Man had saved earlier on, trying to make up a lie and say that Tombstone wants them to take him upstairs. The others, they're really not sure about what Kareem is saying, believing that maybe they should just kill him anyway. The truth is, many of them serve time at Rikers because of Spider-Man locking them up. This is when Kareem pulls a gun on everybody, smashes one of them in the face, and gives Spider-Man the opportunity to make his escape. Peter asking if the massacre has started just yet. Kareem lets him know that it hasn't happened, but he needs to hurry. That all of the guys, they are getting ready upstairs, preparing to go do this massacre. And so as Spider-Man rushes upstairs, we are taken over to Harlem. We have Randy's father, who has been taken prisoner by White Rabbit, being brought to a location where Tombstone is at. Randy and Janice, their 2 children, are getting married. Tombstone believing it is now time that they sit down and they have a conversation. Now, picking back up with Spider-Man, he blasts down this steel door and he starts laying down some hate on all of Tombstone's guys, cracking skulls and breaking noses. Spider-Man is making his way through the entire building of goons, being able to make a phone call to Randy, letting him know that his father is in danger, that Tombstone has every intention of hurting your father. that they are in Harlem and you need to go find your dad and do it now. While Spider-Man continues taking care of all of these goons, Randy and Janice, they hightail it to Tombstone, trusting that Randy is going to be able to get to Tombstone in time. Spider-Man is focused on keeping all of these bad guys in this building and away from doing this massacre. One by one, he is knocking out bad guys left and right. Once he runs out of webbing, this is when he really starts laying down some anger, not being able to stop, knowing that if any of these goons get out, it's going to be a bad day for this city. Randy and Janice making it to the building that Tombstone and his father are in. Randy wastes no time running straight into the fray. As Spider-Man continues making his way through all of these goons, he reaches an office where someone is dressed up as the Rose, showing just how much Tombstone was really committed to making this all look like it was Rose and his goons. As Spider-Man wastes no time, he rushes in and he knocks out the Rose. This is when he realizes this is not dress up, this is no ploy, this is Richard Fisk. With all of the gunfire, the police are on their way. Taking off the mask, we see that this is in fact the Rose. This is when Spider-Man recognizes he is not in Harlem. This whole time, he has been underneath the Rose's hideout. These were all the Rose's men. Tombstone and Randy's father, they are fine. He is not hurting Randy's father. In fact, they are here to have a couple drinks and talk about the future of their children. Spider-Man was tricked by Tombstone. Spider-Man just won Tombstone's war for him. Tombstone not having to lift much of a finger, only having to beat up Spider-Man just a little bit. Tombstone just moved himself up, now proclaiming himself the Kingpin of New York City. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. That was an absolutely phenomenal twist there. Because in the last issue, Tombstone, he really laid out his entire plan. The typical bad guy, I'm gonna tell you everything and then walk off as if you're not gonna come and stop me. But in this case, Tombstone did it so that Spider-Man would try and stop him. Kareem had let him go under the orders of Tombstone. With Spider-Man believing that all of Tombstone's men were above him, he took out everybody, not knowing that it was the Rose and his entire operation. And so while Tombstone is now proclaiming to be the Kingpin, that is only one Fisk that he has taken down. There is still Butch, who very much believes that he is Kingpin. So while the Rose is taken out of the equation, there is still going to be a war for power. There is still going to be the power struggle between Tombstone and our current Kingpin, Butch. And so this seems to be bringing the whole Tombstone arc really to a close. I'm sure that we're going to see him more in the future going against Butch or whatever else may happen in the near future. But I really hope that we start focusing on what happened to Peter Parker 6 months ago. Because while I would like to say that Mary Jane is the stepmother to these children, it is a very weird coincidence that the daughter has the same exact hair color as her. That this really does seem to be like a family unit. Maybe Peter Parker was a fling from a long time ago. Maybe she doesn't remember their relationship. There are so many questions that we just don't have the answer to. Not only that, Peter Parker has been on the outs with the Fantastic Four, with the Avengers, with everybody, and we have no idea why. So I really hope that issue 5 and further is going to dive into what the heck happened to Peter Parker 6 months ago that has turned his life upside down. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every single little bit helps us out. Now if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you like this video, and until the next breakdown.